You're listening to The Bird Bath. Welcome back to The Bird Bath. Each week we scrape the surface of the news you need to know, so let's get into it. Kicking us off this week is the launch of a new system that a lot of people have been wanting to know about or understand the insights of, which is Instinct Sciences. They launched Standards of Care, as they're calling it, standards in a lot of their releases here. And they're saying it's the future of veterinary clinical decision support. So it was about a year ago that Instinct made the acquisition of Vetmedics, which was the company that owns Plums as well as Clinician's Brief. And the cool thing here was a lot of people said, awesome. This is great things to see. And what the question was, though, is where is this information primarily, as a lot of people thought, was where's the Plums information going to grow and thrive with a new parent taking care of it and growing it in their system? Now, Instinct has been known to do a lot of unique and revolutionary things in the way that they handle their software, and this is no different. So what they said in their press release here was that with Plums at its core, Standards is the only continually updated resource for veterinarians that consolidates the latest veterinary medical knowledge into a practical, searchable, peer-reviewed format. So the idea here is for Standards to be that first line place for veterinarians to get guidance, whether they're looking for clinical or client situations. So that's where both the Clinician's Brief as well as the Plums knowledge are really building into what Instinct has built over the last few years. Most recently at WVC, we had the chance to chat with a bit of the team and participate in a couple events that they hosted to be able to see more and more about Standards. I actually have a subscription now, so despite the fact that I do not practice, I'm going to be digging in and learning more about it. But when we talked with Dr. Caleb Frankel, who's the CEO and founder of Instinct, he said this is a product many veterinarians have been dreaming about for years, myself included, aimed at helping with the problem of providing clinician confidence at the point of care. We wanted to build something that we can just trust from the trusted Clinician's Brief, Plums, Instinct teams, and something that is going to grow in a big way like the Instinct products always do. They really want this to be something that can be used everywhere from a general practice to an ER to a specialty with peer-reviewed information and evidence at the core. It's going to be a neat thing to see. It's something that I don't think is the end of it. And they gave us a little bit of a teaser in the press release saying the launch of Standards is just the beginning with a roadmap of upcoming enhancements, including AI-driven tools embedding Standards content into Instinct's practice management systems and additional expanded content. Instinct Science is committed to continuously evolving the platform to meet the needs of modern veterinary teams. So congratulations to the team on the launch of this new service. I think it's going to be great, and I look forward to it being something that helps out practitioners across the globe. Now, if information is one thing that can help people practice better, the other thing that helps is money. LoneTree Capital, which is a New York-based growth capital firm, has announced the final close of LoneTree 1, which is their inaugural growth equity fund of $200 million. Their total assets under management right now is $308 million. And the investor demand for this new growth equity fund has been pretty strong. LoneTree in the past few years invested in some companies that a lot of you know, one of which is Synergy Pet Group. Synergy is the parent company of Shepherd, Pedisure, Wishbone, as well as several other businesses in the animal health sector. In the press release, managing partner Matt Coven said flexible capital paired with LoneTree's intensive, active support around go-to-market execution and talent management is a clear differentiator in the lower middle market. So this is going to be some more money here. Historically, they do a lot of investments in the software space, and in the M&A space. So expected to see perhaps some growth from Synergy Pet Group as well as other businesses in their portfolio. We're keeping this session or this episode very C-level, and another C-level promotion or appointment is at Small Door. Small Door Veterinary has appointed their first COO, Chief Operating Officer, Kristen Lombardi. Kristen Lombardi has a really impressive background. She was very early on at Veterinary Emergency Group, where she helped grow the company from a single clinic with 13 employees to 100 clinics and 5,500 team members nationwide. In their release, Kristen said, "I've spent my career building and scaling veterinary organizations and couldn't be more excited to join Small Door at such a transformational time. Small Door's membership model is redefining veterinary care, and the company has done the hard work of proving its model, achieving profitability, and setting new industry standards. I look forward to working with the team to bring this vision to more pet parents, veterinarians, and hospitals nationwide." Right now, in my digging here, Small Door currently lists on their site 13 different locations, all in the Northeast. But if Kristen Lombardi's history of growth here with VEG is any indication, we should expect to see a lot of big things happening for Small Door in the coming years. With spring break just around the corner, or even happening while you're listening to this episode, you might be really interested to hear about a new company that is part of NVIDIA's Inception startup program. Roch Dog has launched what they're calling the hotel industry's first AI-powered certification engine. This stuck a little bit of a chord in my brain here as last week we talked about, or 2 weeks ago, we talked about Vet Verify receiving some large investment for the work that they're doing around the unification of the data around vaccines in pet hotels. But Roch Dog is a platform that automates the assessment, certification, rankings, and reviews of hotels based on their pet-friendly policies, services, amenities, facilities, and access levels. So they're able to dig out really granular data by using AI, which means, in my view, probably that they're just able to crunch big data easier. But they're figuring out ways to certify how pet-friendly hotels are. They actually have a tool that reaches out through natural language processing and contacts hotels directly and asks them 45 detailed questions about their pet accommodations. The system then takes those responses, puts them into a giant system, and actually comes up with a way to rank the different hotels and how friendly they would be for your pet. So definitely worth checking out. It's something that's still very, very new. But if the backing from NVIDIA is any indication, we should expect that they're going to be doing some really big things. The CEO of Roch Dog, Geese Buell, said, "This is a game changer for the hospitality industry. Until now, pet-friendly has been an overused and often misleading term. Our AI-driven certification provides a real data-driven standard and helps dogs-owning travelers make informed choices while allowing truly exceptional hotels to punch through the pet-friendly noise." I, for one, would love it. Whenever we would travel, we always found the La Quinta hotels allow you to stay for free with your dogs. So on road trips, especially when we moved across country with our 2 dogs, always found that that was a great way to do it. But I know that the little star that says pet friendly doesn't always mean exactly that it is truly a place that wants to see your animals there. I'm going to link their dog friendly hotels rankings here. It's got some different ones across the globe, and it's a good way to check it out. So I'll make sure that we link Roch Dog in the show notes here. Finally, we've got a little bit of an update on a story that we hit on last week about pets at home in the UK. Maybe we got caught out by a little bit of the kerfuffle that many other people in the investing world got excited about. But BC Partners, who is named in that story, has told the Financial Times, and this is a direct quote, Pug Bidco, which was the vehicle in which a lot of people thought they were doing an acquisition or a takeover of pets at home through. The statement here says, Pug Bidco is nothing to do with pets at home. We are not involved here at all. So maybe the stories were a little ahead of themselves, but it did still allow the pets at home shares to spike and are still trading a little bit higher than they were before this news. So after some tough times for the share prices of UK consolidators, maybe a little bit of a bright light for them, whether it was just off of overly ambitious digging or not. Still something to see. And, there were quite a few companies that were made there, and I'd be curious to see what that means for the future. Finally, I wanted to thank everyone that took the time to come up and say hello and come to my talk with Dr. Audrey Weisstretch in Las Vegas this last week. It was an absolute blast, and I really enjoyed getting the time to hear from people, whether they've said they've enjoyed different things on the show or things that they found exciting. It always means a lot, and I always enjoy doing this show. So if you haven't, take a second to share the show with a friend and make sure that you rate it. And if you want more on these and other stories, you can join us by subscribing to our Substack. There's always a link in the bio. For the Bird Bath, I'm Ryan Leach. See you next week.